this computer. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Wolves of Wealth Sunday sermon. Today is 2/6/2022. I welcome you. My name is Chris, aka No Risk, No Premium, on our Discord and on Twitter. I want to do a quick mic check, make sure y'all can hear me real quick. Somebody type in the chat and say, we're all good to go, boss man. Good to go. Hear you. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, today is a very special episode. We are not going to have Justin, guys. Justin had some fuckery go on. We had he came out here. We had a meeting Friday this week. He was flying back yesterday evening. His plane caught fire. There was a wheelchair in the cargo area that actually caught fire. They had an emergency landing in Denver. So he has been stranding in Denver since yesterday. Delta, he was flying Delta. Delta is not a hub of Delta. So they basically dropped him off and then ignored him. So he's been stuck on the phone with customer service trying to figure out how the fuck he can get home. So he is not with us today. Nonetheless, thoughts and prayers out to him. We're glad he is safe as well. And we're just happy that he is on the ground and safe for sure, although he is dealing with some shit. So I don't know when he's going to actually be back in, he's from New Mexico. I don't know when he's going to be back there. So everyone give him some patience. He might not be as active in the Discord like tomorrow or the coming days, especially just trying to figure everything out. Okay, but I will be, and so will the rest of the admins, and we'll be crushing it. Okay, so first thing, guys, I want to give a huge shout out to one of our newest admins. We have not said anything about this, but Dan, JT Gladiator Dan. I want to give a huge shout out and well-deserved promotion, if you want to call it, to become one of our admins, guys. He is now going to have the yellow tag next to his name. He's going to be able to put admin, okay? And he's going to get to yell at you. That's what that means, right? That's why we all get this. We just want to scream at you guys. That's why we become an admin. I'm just kidding. But guys, listen, there's a reason. There's a pretty unanimous vote on for him to become an admin. He's very well respected. He's very good at what he does. Okay. And he has a different strategy than most, right? I'd say he's pretty spot on playing the earnings. He's also an excellent small account finder. Okay. He finds plays that are great. A lot of those guys in the small account chat have started to play the banks a lot. Those are great affordable contracts. So this is the point I'm making, guys. First off, congrats to Dan. When you give him a sec, shoot him a message, say congrats. We're very happy to have him be a part of the Wolf Pack. But this is what I want to say, guys. Dan has a special way of how to trade that is special to his account, that is special to his goals. Okay, every single one of us admin does. If you think about it, you've got Dan, you've got Sherlyn. Sherlyn finds the sweet spot on the Wealth Talk when we're live trading. She finds two things she can scalp all day long. We got Damo. Shout out Damo. Very knowledgeable. He loves to play the momentum, okay? Or when there's buying and selling pressure. That's what he watches, okay? And he plays accordingly. Trell, we all know Trell murders SPY up and down like nobody else, okay? You've got myself that fucking screams at you every day. It takes one trade a day. That's it. So I'm doing less. That's my whole thing. I do less. Okay, Justin's just the GOAT. But then you got some guys like Yules and you got guys like BK that are commons guys that learn how to play options. Okay, because it's all the same technical setup. So as long as they find something good, they'll play it. But this is the point, guys. There's not one way to make money. Okay, there's all sorts of different strategies. So every single one of us needs to make sure that we have our own strategy. Okay, there's no one way to skin a cat. There's no one way to perfectly do something. So you need to know that. Okay, you need to understand that's just the truth. Okay, so guys, that's why we have so many admins. It's because every single one of them provides so much value in their own unique ways. Okay, and that's why we want to put that in front of you. So you don't need to copy everybody. There's a lot of people that love the way that Dan trades. There's a lot of people that love the way that Trell trades. There's a lot of people that love the way Sherlyn trades. And as long as you make money, it doesn't really fucking matter. So we're trying to put the best people in front of y'all to help you make money. Plain and simple, okay? So shout out JT, guys. Very glad to have him. Later on, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Dylan coming on live with us. He's going to walk you guys through how to how he sets up his watch list every night, how he sets his levels in the morning, and how he executes his plan. And mind you guys, he trades for 1 hour a day. Okay, 1 hour a day. He's a 6-figure trader who trades 1 hour a day. Okay, I just want to make that very, very, very well known. It only takes 1 trade a day. All right. So let's see here. We got some people coming. I want to make sure you guys are go ahead and mute yourself, y'all, as you come in. Please, please. We are recording right now. I want to be courteous to the remainder of the members. Hold on, I'm admitting a few more, and then we're going to get started. All right, welcome, everybody. Sorry, y'all. Can you hear me now? I just muted myself totally. You hear me? Should hear me now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I muted myself. Sorry about that. Everybody else, go ahead and mute yourself as you come in, please, please, please. All righty. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Guys, what did we do last week? How fun was that? I mean, it was a ton of fun. The market was crazy. It's been crazy volatile. I mean, what else to expect, right? When the VIX is back over 20 and rocking, okay? The volatility index is the VIX, guys. You got to know when that's up, shit's going to be moving. Shit is going to be moving. And this is not a market where you're going to be buying and holding, right? And I think this week we had a lot of the admins, a lot of us discussing, guys, this is such a scalper's market that people are begging for a call out to blindly follow, and they're going to get annihilated. This is not March 2020. You don't just buy it, support, and hold forever. That's not how this works anymore, okay? And I think you could see this. Look at, I mean, what candle do we have here? Hold on. This is the daily. Let's just look. This is not buy and hold. Look at these swings. I mean, from the week, just every week, okay? Look how big these ranges are. We are no longer, oh, wait a minute. Did I just lose you guys? Do you see my screen? Okay, did I lose y'all? Can't see it. Now?
No, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. Damn, I guess Justin, the good thing he doesn't pay me money at all because I can't fucking figure this shit out. All right, anyway, back to it. Now you can see it. So this is not a buying, this is a scalper's market, guys. So let's talk about Friday real quick. There were 3 trades that could have been made on Friday. Just 3 of them. That's it. That's all you needed. There were 3 high probability setups that you could have traded and you should have been done. And if you would have traded one of the 3 correctly, you'd be done. But this is it right here. Here's Friday. Here's the 15-minute chart, okay? Look what we have here. Pre-market low, okay? You guys see pre-market low, 443-ish. Pre-market high, 452, okay? We bumped out of the gate, and we saw we weren't going to get going, so you could have played puts down to support. But I don't even like that because there's a lot of gray area in here. You could have just been patient and waited till 8 o'clock, an hour and a half. You'd have to wait an hour and a half to make a trade. But if you knew that this was going to hold, where you saw we were going to bounce, and you would have just played calls there, it ran 10 fucking points. 10 points. You could have bought in here. You could have bought in here. You could have bought in here. Okay, you guys see this, right? It bounced off the pre-market low, which we knew was massive support. Why do we know that that was massive? Damn it. We knew that
you
was
need massive support.
Yes, hold on. Let me just move this out of the way. Okay. We needed massive support. You guys still see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Why was this massive support? Oh, let's zoom out. We always tell y'all to zoom out. Where did this come and touch? What's the low here? 443.83. What's the 20-day at? 443.33. That's fucking close enough for me. It doesn't have to be to the fucking get-go. So we knew that if that went down and touched and it bounced, it was going to bounce good. It's the 200-day moving average. Okay. So we knew that was coming. So we had, I know in the group chat, they were talking about, let's take calls. Boom. And it was what else? It was the overnight low. It already bounced off it. It bounced off it again. So you should have taken calls here. Okay. Then what happened next? What happened next? We see this pre-market high. Okay. 452 to 453. Cool. We didn't get through that. We didn't. We failed it right here. We failed it. And what we do, we sold off. I don't even know. I mean, it dipped down to here, but the close price, I mean, we dropped four or 5 points, which is 4 or 5 ES points, 50 or 40 to 50 ES points, right? So we knew that that was coming. We knew the fail. We could play puts. So you could have played calls here and puts here. That's it. Okay. All of you guys are talking about, look at the 1 minute. Oh, the 1 minute. It's look at this fuckery. Who would want to trade this? Who would want to even stare at this? This is, to me, this is a heart attack on a screen. I don't know how you guys look at this and play this and think this is fun to watch all day. That is, I mean, that is the amount of heart attacks on this screen. I don't know. That doesn't look fun to me at all. Zoom the fuck out. I get on the 15-minute minimum now. I don't like getting on the 5-minute. And what also that has helped you do is you get to see now where this big ass support was. We knew it was at the 200-day moving average. We knew it. We saw it. So we knew to take calls. It was a really simple play. Okay. 15 to 30 minutes says, Charles says that's where it's at. That is exactly where it's at. I really do like the 30-minute as well. Let's go right here. 30 minutes, very nice. A really nice hold here. Really nice. You can see even better. You cannot hold. So the higher time frames you want to close underneath the pre-market low and high. So you could have knew, right? You could have knew. Wait, shit, before I do that. You could have knew right here on this 30-minute. You saw the pre-market low, there's nice bodies held. So you would have knew if we need to close some bodies underneath where these bodies are to really have conviction. And if we don't, we're probably going to bounce. And what do? We bounce. Same thing at the top here. Here's our level, 452 at the high. We didn't have either of these bodies through. We need a body confirmation that we're through. Okay. So we knew. Plus, guys, did we not just run 10 points? Did we really think we were going to run 10 points and then burst through this 452 and run another 10 points? Like, come on. We knew we were going to have to get exhausted at some point. So we knew. So you guys saw, I fucking loaded the SPX calls for next Friday at 4,400 when we busted above 450, 451. Now, did we go a little higher? Sure. Am I still in the trade area shaking out? Of course I am. I'm in the trade. Unless we really get above 460, I mean, I'm still decently short to definitely go test this 200-day moving average. So here, now let's zoom out again. Okay, so here's what can happen this week. Okay, what do I think can happen this week? I don't know. That's the God honest truth. But here's what I do know. Here's what I do know. This is the simple moving average 20-day. This is the 21 moving average, the EMA 21-day moving average. Okay, right at. I mean, they're together. They're right there. A lot of people play these 20-day, and they play the 21 EMA. Okay, so if these are right here in conjunction together, you can see how relevant those levels are, right? I mean, we see that. We see that. So we knew this was probably going to be a big level of resistance. And what did we say on the last week's sermon? If we go back and look at it, we said if 452 breaks, it probably goes to 456. But if it doesn't break, then we're going to go lower. But we knew 452 was coming. Okay, so now we've got this range in between the 452, right, which is the 20-day here, the 21 EMA, okay, and then also the 200-day. We know those are all crucial levels, okay? So what would I expect? I would expect if we don't get through 452 to the upside, we're definitely going to see downside. But if we do get through, you would think we come up here to test the high, right, of last week. So let's zoom out even further. What happened last week? Well, you want to talk about rejection? We have the 8 EMA, the 21 EMA, the 20 moving day, okay, all in this fuckery of 452 to 456. I mean, they're all right there. Look at them. Look at them. Last week, we held the 50-day on the weekly, and then we said, we're probably coming up to 452, 456. Go back and listen to the sermon, guys. We gave you the play. You just have to be patient. It got all the way back up there, and then it rejected it. It rejected it. Now, do we come down here and test this 435, which is the 50-day moving average, and we're on the weekly chart? Well, guys, what do we have on the daily chart we have to get through first? 442, right? Because that's the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. the weekly chart, zoom out more. The next stop after 442, which is pretty much the week's low, right? You'll have 435. Great. And then if you look, if you're like, you really want to get fucking hawkish, I mean, the 200-day is way down here, 334. If it got down there, my puts would go fucking nuts and I'd probably retire. Sorry, guys, I'll be honest with you. I'd be a gazillionaire. But it's probably not going to happen. Not this week, at least. So what's the plan this week? I would say this, simple. To the upside, we've got to get through this clusterfuck of 452. After we get through 452, we got to get through 456. Then after 456, we have to get back up here. I would say this 50-day moving average on the daily is 460. Would have to get through that to really be bullish. I would think through 456, I would kind of flip the script to bull. Realistically, that's just me. Okay. Now on the daily, we're going to confirm the same thing. We've got to get through this clusterfuck at 452. You guys see this fucking clusterfuck of EMAs and MAs all right here together. No wonder it failed. So we'd have to get through that. Okay. Here's let's just zoom out real quick. Here's a trend line I drew like a while back. Okay. This was holding it on this weekly. Remember, guys, this whole, Justin, I say it every time, breakdown, retest. We almost went and retested the trend line and we failed it. Where all these MAs are. So now I'm thinking this, if we fail this 452 again, I'll zoom in. If we fail 452 again, to me, it would only make sense for us to go test where? 442, which is a 200-day moving average. Underneath 442, I'd be looking at 435, 436, 435.94 is the 50-day. So 435.94, so 436. I'd be looking at 436. Okay, to the downside. So upside, what do we have? 452, 456, 460. Downside, 442, 436. Very simple, guys. Very simple. Okay, keep it simple, stupid. Now, let's take a look at the VIX. Just real quick. Every time we get a breakout here, we finally had all these MAs cross over too. Finally. You guys see all these starting to cross over. It seems like the trend has changed on this weekly. We had this is COVID. And we gradually pop fade, just kind of dragged on lower. And all of a sudden, then we got real tight in here. And now we're getting higher lows, right? We're getting higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right? So if we hold this 8 EMA, which it's been respecting for the most part, okay, you would think we go higher. What happens when we go higher on the VIX, guys? Somebody type it in the chat for me. Really simple. What happens to the rest of the market usually? Somebody's got it. Really simple. Red, blood, yes, downside, right? Downside. Typically when the VIX is spiking, we have downside, okay? Very simple. Everything goes to shit. Yeah, I mean, the world is ending. You would think so on Twitter. You think fucking need to get all of FinTwit on suicide fucking hotline. Or putas print. That's right, putas. So here's what we need to watch. Do we get a nice spike to start? Now, this is the weekly. Look at the daily. The daily went down, support right off that 50-day, looks like, bounced below, got higher. So what do we see here? Do we see a move higher? Maybe. If we do the KDJ looks like it's ready to come up, right? Looks like it's ready to come up on this daily. Very possible we go higher on the VIX. So if we go higher on the VIX, what happens? The market goes lower. We're going to look at some putas. What is the strategy when the VIX is elevated? You buy puts at resistance, knowing the market's going to go down. Okay, especially if things are hot. Okay, just looking here, you could have the last Thursday and Friday, really simple. You would have just taken puts off the rejection. You would have printed both times, make tons of money. You have to be disciplined though, and you have to have some goddamn patience. All righty. The last thing I want to point out is this TNX. A lot of you are like, what the fuck is the TNX? I don't know. It's a 10-year treasury note. You better get familiar with it. Okay. When the TNX goes up, tech doesn't like that much. Okay. So when that shit starts spiking, you're probably not going to be wanting to buy those weekly calls. Okay. I wouldn't be buying the weekly calls. That's just me. Okay, so keep your eye here. And with these rates rising, right? With the rates rising, why are they rising? Because the Fed is talking about raising rates. Fed's talking about raising rates, which they need to combat inflation. Very simple. When that happens, okay, when that happens, what goes with it? And I think JT's been talking about a lot about these, and I know they've been playing BAC. But if you want to look at just the financial sector loves when rates get raised because they make more money. They loan out money, they make money on the interest. So if there's a higher interest rate, they're going to make more money. Okay, they're going to make more money. Really simple. So guys, check out, I think it's the Small Accounts channel where they talk about these very affordable contracts in the banking sector. But look at XLF. You should always have your eye on XLF. This is just every single financial ticker, so all of the big banks in the SPY. Okay, so it's good to know what the banks are doing. All right. As far as what is coming this week now, I just gave you guys what I think we could go in the market as far as the ranges go. I think the market's opened up green here. Yeah, we've opened up 6 points right now on ES. That's great. Let me take a look. Oh no, let me take you guys to here. That's what I want to do. What's going on this week in the market? Okay, this week right here. This is what is most important. Consumer price index month to month, core CPI, consumer price index year to year, and then the federal budget. Okay, why is this important, guys? Why is this important? Well, it's important because we all know the inflation is running like a fucking a bucking bronco right now. It's going now to 7%. 7%, that's massively high. Okay, we don't know where it's going to go, but if it keeps going higher, the Fed is going to have to act because money is becoming worthless. Anybody that has cash or they don't own assets is going to get killed, i.e. the middle class and lower. Okay. I.e. a little bit of the lower class will get fucked. All right. That's just the truth. If you don't own assets and you own cash, you're actually losing value of your cash that you don't want. But what does this mean? We had a great jobs number. Okay. And if we have a high inflation number, that means in order to counteract inflation, we need to stop, one, lending out money. How do we stop lending out money? The Fed raises the Fed funds rate. By doing that, they need to make sure that employment is strong. Okay. Employment is strong. Well, it was strong. So now they got room to raise. And if inflation comes out of control still, meaning it hasn't gone down, which I don't think it will. I told you guys on the spaces, I told you guys in here numerous times, guys, the only way we can take money out of circulation is through what? Somebody type it in there. Somebody tell me. Macroeconomics 101. Taxes, bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo. The government spends money on its people, okay, through its federal budget, which is new money injected into the economy, okay, or into circulation, okay. The Fed keeps the rates low so the banks can make loans, new money. Every time they make a loan, it is brand new money, okay. And then what happens? They need to collect money back from the people by collecting taxes, So if taxes aren't due until April 15th, then I'm going to take a wild guess that we're not going to see a drastic decrease in inflation while the Fed funds rate is still at fucking zero. And our government is still, or the Fed is still buying assets. You guys realize they're not done doing the asset purchasing until the end of March. All right. So you have to know that from a macro sense, understand what's going on. Okay. Yo, Chris says April 18th for 2022. Hey, shout out the 3-day extension. What up? No, guys, it's very simple. Very simple. That's why these inflation numbers are important. If they come in super hot, that tells investors what the Fed needs to act aggressively. If the Fed acts aggressively and they raise rates, okay, that is not good for the market because all of these companies right now are all operating off of leveraged cash flows through debt. It's very common for these companies to have line of credits where they finance all of their monthly expenditures through debt because it's free right now. Why not? Or acquisitions or whatever it might be. The moment they raise rates, all of those companies that aren't big value stocks or those growth names get hit the hardest because they have zero margins to work with. Okay. The growth companies or the big tech companies, they have a lot more cash on hand. They have a lot more flexibility when it comes to having increased rate raises. They can handle that cost, but a lot can't. So what happens when these companies can't handle the cost? They usually cut the first thing. What's the first thing they cut? Somebody tell me. If you own a business or you know anything about macroeconomics, the first thing that gets cut off of a person's balance sheet of a company is what? When times get rough. Somebody's got it. Somebody knows. I've talked about it a million times. Wow, nobody. Maybe I've been letting y'all down. Labor, bingo, headcount. Get the fuck out of here. Payroll taxes, insurance, Social Security, all that bullshit. Bye-bye. See ya. And you don't have to pay them a salary. So that's what you cut first. You cut headcount. Okay. So that's what the government's talking about. Everyone talks about jobs are so important right now. They're very important. They need to make sure that they're not already cutting jobs. Okay. They need to make sure that people are employed. Right. So jobs and inflation numbers are important right now. Very, very, very important. Okay. So what do we have here? We've got that. We've got Thursday. Everything's about Thursday. That's all we care about. Thursday this week. Very, very, very simple. Now, earnings whisper. What do we have coming up? Not an exciting week, in my opinion. Dan runs the ER channel. So I'm sure he'll be playing a few. I always like to give him a few of the ones that I really like. Tuesday we have who do we have? We have two companies I like. Where to go? Hog. Very, very random. But Hog is an interesting one because Harley Davidson has a very loyal crowd. My initial gut is telling me to be a little bit more bullish on Hog. Okay. So I ask me why. I don't know. I'm a little more bullish on it. Just me. Now I'm not playing the earnings. I'm not holding through. I'm just giving my insight. Now you could play both sides on the IV, like JT or Dan's really good at. Okay, so follow him. But the other one that I do like, I don't like the Piton earnings. That's what Kapil says. Piton. You guys like Piton? I'm not gonna fucking touch it. But they're definitely gonna be coming down. I like it for the blood. Yeah, it's so you guys know they have the rumors, guys, on Friday. The rumors of possibly being bought out by Amazon. It's definitely just a rumor. We'll see how the market reacts to it, but it got bought up. So this is nice. It's already overextended to the upside. If they come out and say, not true, we're just fucking around, Piton is going to, zero. It's going to zero. It's going to say it's probably going back to 20, but Ned says zero. So maybe, and then the earnings, when they miss again, let's see. I like PFE, guys, Pfizer. Pfizer this week. I do like Pfizer. Okay. I do like Pfizer. And then on Thursday, personally, I like Twitter. Wait, did I hit Thursday? I did. Wait, Thursday. Damn it. Twitter is on Thursday. I do like Twitter, guys. We saw what Snap did, right? I do like Twitter. So those are ones I'll be watching. They also said they're going to be watching Disney. I think Disney's another great one. I don't even know what to expect there, honestly. But it really doesn't matter because if you play either side on the put or call side, you're just playing the IV. And if you're going to play a straddle, BK, I don't know if Bradley's on the call. He does really good at the straddle side. I'm playing earnings. You guys saw he made like 24,000 last week on PayPal and the other earnings. I think he had, I forgot who it was. Shit. AMD or something like that. No, whatever.
Facebook. Facebook.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, guys, he made a killing. So you can do it. But listen, it gets pricey to do that. So if you don't have the account size to do it, then don't do it. Okay, don't do it. Yeah, okay, that's all I really got, guys. I mean, we got the levels here on SPY. You know, that's the big thing we've been playing as late. And when the market's so choppy, you want to make sure you're playing something that moves and gives the percentage gains, right? So that's why we've been playing SPY a lot, because it is an easy stock to master. It is, and it's fun to play. And you only need 1 or 2 100%ers for a day, even for the week. Shit, if you're making $200, $500, $1,000 a week and you work full time, I mean, think about that. $1,000 extra a week, $200 extra a week is $800 for the month, is $9,600 for the year. That's a lot of expenses that you can cover, guys. Stop trading to become rich and start trading to become profitable, to become disciplined. and then you'll become rich later. Okay, constantly growing your account from the long-term standpoint will always be better than making 50 grand one day and then giving 30 grand back the next, and then making 5K, then losing 10 because you got no discipline. Okay, you got no risk management skills. You're just fucking gambling at that point. All right, that's why we teach y'all to do less, to always do less. All right. Now, without further ado, I want to bring on Tuba Dylan. Let me see how I can make him a host, I believe, make him a host so he can share his screen, I believe. I want to make him a host. Is making him a host going to be, it's going to stop this recording, huh?
You don't have to make him a host. You can just stop sharing. He can share, I think.
He can share. Dylan, let me know if you
host has disabled participant screen sharing. Okay, I know. I tried sharing, but I couldn't. No.
If I make him a host, though, would that help?
Yep, that should help.
Yeah, if I'm a host, I can share the screen, but I think you should be able to add participant screen sharing without that.
Okay, how do I do that? Allow local files, allow the multi-pin, no, rename pin, no, chat, ask to start video. No, that's not it. Let's just have you screen share. Let's see what happens. Can you do anything on your end, Dylan?
No, it just says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, so let me. Allowed to multi-pin.
In the top,
what is that?
In the top right-hand corner, you should see the swap video and shared screen. I believe that should allow him to switch it.
Top right corner of my screen. Hold on. Oh, mother.
Where it says view.
Or it says view. I just have. Oh, view. Oh. Show non-participant or show non-video participants. That one.
Okay, so yours looks funny now.
Okay, hold on. Let me share real quick because I just realized I took it off. But I'll bring this back. Wait a minute, where'd it go?
On your screen, can you open Zoom and then we can walk you through it?
On the view on the right-hand side, I can see your screen now.
Okay. Yep.
You can go up to the right where it says view. Yep.
Wait, where's view? I don't see it.
Go to Zoom.
Yeah.
How do I get TOS?
What's that?
Your mouse is only over your TOS, but on the Zoom screen, we can see where's you.
Oh, on the Zoom screen? I just had it, but I don't know where the hell it went. Hold on, because I'm not seeing, it doesn't have it. I'm just seeing my actual desktop, like my, within the Zoom meeting, click the arrow next to the share screen. The arrow. Oh, multiple participants can share screens simultaneously. That one?
Sounds like it.
Yes. Sorry, I muted myself. Yes.
Oh, that's multiple. Okay. So now, Dylan, let's see.
How's that? It says I'm screen sharing.
It says you're screen sharing. Let me stop sharing mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we can see it.
All right.
Yeah, right. I can see Dylan's screen now.
Woo! Look at that. Wolves of Wealth, baby. Oh, the Wolves of Zoom. Let's go. Okay, guys. Hey, I appreciate everybody's help. That was awesome. Great team effort. Now, without further ado, guys, I do want to give I want to give Dylan an intro he deserves, guys. Dylan is he is a full-time teacher. Okay, he started our group I think back when we really started opening up. We were a closed down group with a small community for a very long time. And then got a little bit popular and people wanted to join. So we had some people come in. And he was one of them. Okay, Zoom just got saved, or Chris would have been shorted into oblivion. Yeah, I would have been done with that. Guys, he started trading and he started making a ton of money. And he was learning a lot of things. He was already a great trader prior. Okay, I do want to make that that asterisk known. But he did learn a few things in our group, which I think we're able to help him bring it full circle. And he's been able to make a pretty considerable sum of money through trading, through more than his day job. Okay. And how he trades, guys, is you don't see him in here all day. You don't see him on voice. You don't see him typing all day. He trades the first hour and sometimes trades the last hour. Sometimes, but I'd say all in all, he trades about an hour a day. That's it, guys. He makes one trade a day. And he's already doing the account challenge that he showed you guys. He's taken 2 to 60K already in just that one account. And he has multiple other accounts that he's making money on as well. Okay. Multiple 6-figure trader here, guys. He's very smart. Okay. And I always scream at you. So I'm going to give him the opportunity to scream at you. But Dylan, before you start screaming, bro, I gave them an introduction. Hey, please, because I don't want to disrespect anything about your past at all. Please give us a little bit of an intro to you personally, your background, where you come from, and what's led you to get here, bro.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris. I'm humbled and honored to be asked to be here. So thank you so much. Yeah, I'm Dylan. I grew up in Southern California, moved to Spokane, Washington when I was 16. That was quite a shocking life change. And then I went to college for music and I became a music teacher. And honestly, I didn't really think a whole lot about anything besides that until during COVID. I actually wrecked my leg into 30 pieces while playing hockey. And so I was on the couch with nothing to do but read for a month or two. And I started really reading into trading options, and then I sucked at it a lot. And I worked really hard for several years. And then, in October, I was able to jump into the Wolves and started figuring out some better rules, finding more discipline and doing less. And I used to try to trade several tickers at a time, but I'm basically only trading SPX SPY right now, because that's the one thing I feel like I can trade correctly right now. Doing less for me means more than just fewer trades. It means fewer tickers. It means fewer variables in every way. So I try to keep things as simple as possible because, like Chris said, I get to
Good.
trade for an hour.
Bad.
So yeah. Anyways, so here's basically what happens for me. I go to the gym at 5, and then I get home at 5:45. I shower, then I start looking at things that are around 6 o'clock. I look at the pre-market, just like we were saying. So this is my half hour, my 30-minute candle screens. This is what my main screen, my screen number 1 looks like on my TOS. Up here I have the 1 minute, and yes, it's the heart attack screen. You will get a heart attack if you stare at this, but it's still there. I haven't figured out a better use for this screen just yet. This is my 5 minute right here, and I'll show you how I use that in a second. But the 30 minute is what I look at for pre-market, right? And I find those pre-market highs and lows, and I just use my old lines from the previous day. And I just double click on them. I change them to what the mark ought to be. So with that screen up right there, I move my cursor here. It looks like 452.29. So then I'll change the value to that. Later on, I'll come in and put a contract on that in a second, and then I'll find the pre-market lows. And I'll do this around 6 o'clock, and then I'll do it again at around right before we open. So I would have done it for this red candle right here, 44403. And then later on, I would come back and put it in for what it truly was, 443.51. That's for my low candle. What did I say, 0.5? Yeah. And as you see, I keep those lines there. I sometimes have other things, I have the top of shoulder for if this is that big head and shoulders line in there every now and then, but I don't do a whole lot. That's for other purposes. But for my day, these lines right here are what I trade off of. And So what I then do is I look for contracts that are on the opposite sides of these lines. What I mean by that is if we bounce off this line and go up, I want a call contract that's right near at the money for here. And if we break below, I want it at the money near here contract for a put. So I can play the breakout or I can play the bounce. Same thing for off the pre-market highs. I throw a contract in the watch list right above and right below. This is such a huge gap though. And we were starting out low that actually on Friday, I didn't add a call contract for above this. I just did the put one for below it. So I put those into my watch list up here, and I use the same watch list every week. I just Fridays is called lottos usually. I just edit that watch list and I just delete from the previous week, remove, save, and then I will add my new contracts right around those lines that I drew here onto this watch list. See, I've got it marked 7, so that correlates to my active trader window here, 7, 7, so that goes there. This right here is my 1. So this, if I want to click on my watch list, these are my bigger tickers that I watch throughout the day. I don't have as big of a list as Chris does, but I've been trying to keep things as simple as possible. So this is connected to, if I click on the charts button up top, which I can't see because the Zoom box is there. I can do that. Yeah, charts button right here. My 1 is attached to this one right here. So anyways, so yeah, back to, this is where I hang out most of the time. The night before though, what I will often do is I look at the ESH contract, and I like to use the ESH contract on the daily to see where I feel trend is going. Sorry, I gotta keep moving that box up tonight. And I do that instead of the SPY because it's more of a continuous line, because it's more of that 23 hours, and so it's more of a continuous line. It's less choppy for me, but it basically does the same thing. So as you see here, we had that Wednesday doji, and we were going down here, and this is where I see like my overall trend, but this only helps me on a more macro perspective. My intraday trading happens here, so I have to play the opening range or I can't play at all, and sometimes I don't. And because I have to play those, that's a higher risk kind of trade, so I use stop losses 100% of the time. What I mean by that is, I have a video that I dropped on how I make those stop losses, but I've got 2 sets of orders. I've got a trail stop bracket with a 50% limit and a 20% trail stop, or just a flat 50-20, and I drag that up and down to trail it. I use those for my orders. What I use my 5-minute window here for, as you see, because I dropped these lines in here, they should appear. I have a study on here that's called opening range levels and standard deviation. So that gives me a little bit of an idea on where the opening range is, and it just adds that line in for me. So once we get on Friday, for example, once I saw that we were retesting that opening range and came back down, that was my confirmation that puts were the right play. And because I used my brackets here, I set my when I entered in my trade and I traded those SPX puts, on my SPX chart over here on charts, it shows me where my sell is on that 50%. I wasn't as confident in the 50%, so I moved it to like around 40%, and then I had the trail stop in, and so right as it was doing things right around here on this green candle, it triggered my trail stop. Honestly, I made all the money. Honestly, guys, I made like double my monthly paycheck on these 2 red 5-minute candles right here. Like that's all it takes if you play the right contracts. So that's how I do it, and then I'm done. And then I come back, like Chris said, at the end of the day. Sometimes I enter in an overnight swing. You may have read that, like I was thinking about that back in the beginning of January, of having some more passive trades in swings overnight kind of thing, versus my active trading in the day. So I've yeah, so I will look during power hour to see where I feel the trend is going and try to enter in a swing in a different account for the next day. But that's basically what I do. I'm gonna check out the chat. I see a lot of things in there. Okay. All right. So hopefully that made sense. There's another window that you don't see of mine. I'm gonna drag it over in here. This is on my other screen because I always use 2 monitors, except I did just buy a 49-incher that I'm going to use just 1 monitor with. Anyways, so this is my.
Did you buy that with profits?
I bought it with profits.
There you go, baby.
Yep.
Real quick, Dylan, I'll have you continue here in a sec. I do want to touch on one thing. I didn't want it to go missing or go unnoticed, guys. Dylan said something really important right in the beginning. He said, you guys know I only trade the first hour, right? So you said it's a risky trade, or you ended it with this, or I don't trade at all. Okay. How important is that? And how hard is that? We'll just ask you, Dylan, how hard is it to not trade sometimes? But then I'll have a follow-up question after.
Yeah, sorry, I lost you there for a minute. You said how important is that, and then you got silent.
Oh yeah, no. How important is that? And how hard is it to not take a trade some mornings?
It's hard because it's addicting, right? I mean, like the chemical reaction we get in our brain when we win a trade is unreal. We all know that. And the devastation of a loss also when you're not controlling your risk is also unreal. So it's very hard to not take a trade. However, I can help give myself an edge by knowing where my resistance lines are, where my bouncing points are, like right here and right here. I even call this line bounce zone because I didn't think it was going to break. You know what I mean? This was, so if I can give myself any kind of edge at all to make that trade less of a risk, then I can, and that's mitigating my risk. And my stop loss is my biggest one. So if I'm making a $2,000 trade and my stop loss is at 20%, I'm not risking $2,000. I'm risking $400. And between you and I'm cool with risking $400 right now, like any given time. That is not the way I was 6 months ago. 6 months ago, $400 was a lot larger sum of money. But yeah, so you mitigate your risk as much as possible. And because I have the way I trade, I have to be riskier if I'm going to do it or not trade at all. It's incredibly hard. However, here's the thing. When you have a day job, if you are still in a trade, because I've done this before and it sucks. When you're in a trade and you're trying to work your day job, especially like I teach, I can't focus and give my attention to my students if I'm still in a trade. I'm trying to stare at my phone. I'm trying to do this, trying to do that. And then I also panic all the time, because I see a random red candle pop up or a green candle if I'm in puts, and it makes me panic. So, I have to get out. I have to have those safeguards in place to protect myself from myself. And I will be a shitty trader and a shitty teacher at the same time. And I have too many times made the mistake, and I shared this with you guys a couple weeks ago. I've had losses that I should have bailed on previously. However, I'm doing my best to be okay with a stop loss. And then if I have time and I see the setup is good, I might re-enter it. But like in the beginning of that challenge up there, like I had a few days where all of my trades were losses. I should have just not traded because it wasn't the right setup. And so I need to continue to really work hard at knowing when not to trade. And the beginning of January was hard for me because the market changed so much. Honestly, October, November, I killed. I fucking destroyed. And I had a rough time changing that around. So I need to continue.
Oh, when everything was going up, that was a very fun.
Oh yeah, dude.
That was very fun. I think everybody made a killing.
Oh, it was so much fun. And I've really had to work hard on reading charts both ways and knowing when not to enter and trade. And that's the only way you will be able to win is by knowing what the trend is and following it, because the market will win every time. So I've discovered things like right now I feel like the market does 3 steps each wave kind of thing. So if you look here, this was our bounce. We had 1 wave to here, 2 waves to here, 3 waves to there. So I knew it was going to come back down. So I'm in a put swing for this next week because I saw the 3 waves happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to find my current market trends for my overnights, and then my daily trade has basically been just based on these pre-market up and downs. And I've posted in the options chat several days, like, hey guys, look, we bounced around in this all day. It was there. Like last Monday, I think, was maybe the most perfect trading day. Last Monday and last Thursday, those were like my favorite days, maybe of all time trading, because we knew exactly what it was going to do and it followed everything we thought it was going to do. It was great. And nothing feels better than being prepared and having the trade go as you planned it going. However, it doesn't always happen that way. So that's why I have to use a stop loss. I don't trust myself because there's always a chance that maybe it'll come back in my brain. And
that's a little bit of hopium too.
Exactly.
I hope. Alcoheim Judah asked a question. I think it's a good one. Where you moved your trading stop at 40%, was it because where the standard deviation was? I think they're talking about the Friday trade.
Yeah.
Where you took the puts.
Right. So here, this is actually the opening range, which is the 20 minutes of the open, which is generally, and in the past, this has been where if it's a chop day, a lot of times it just stays within this opening range right here. So I move it there because I'm not sure it's going to go past it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I follow you.
Yeah. So if it ends up being a chop day, sometimes it ends up being a chop day after I'm already teaching and it's too late for me to do anything. And then it's just theta burn all day.
Yep.
So that being said, also, like I didn't play 0 DTEs on Friday. I played next week contracts because I wanted to protect myself again from that decay, because there's a difference between a lotto that you can watch and trying to make those trades. I don't necessarily feel that Lotto Fridays has to be lottos if you don't play 0 TTEs, but that's me coming from a lot of losses consecutive Fridays in a row and trying to figure out how to make Friday work for me, if that makes sense. Yeah,
for sure.
The opening range study. I downloaded that study from TOS. It's on one of their forums. I could do this myself, but it was way easier just to have it do it for me. There's also
I've never even seen that, but I do like the standard deviation portion, which the market holds true to standard deviations and to fib levels very well.
Yeah, like if you check out here, it actually hit that standard deviation right there. It didn't even get to the pre-market lows, and then up here, it used that deviation as a support on level 2.
Yep.
Yeah, right there. So it works super well. There's another one that I throw on here, pre-market. If I'm running late, I've got one that shows me the pre-market high, pre-market low, and the previous day's high and previous day's low that I'll throw on and just steal lines from that. But I prefer to do it manually because then when I type it in manually, it tells, I'm learning it.
It's reassuring. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's almost clarifying and solidifying you doing it. I feel that.
Yeah, and it's just there's like that. Sometimes I put in the contract I'm looking at on my lines right here, if that helps out. But again, this was such a huge day that like range between there that I didn't feel like I would need. We were down here.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to trade this because by the time we hit here, I'm well done with my day.
Yeah. I think we were chatting at that point. I think we both said, like, if it's not through this, like 452, then like we're coming down. Like we're going to be coming down. And that's when I went short. And I went short a little bit earlier because it didn't seem like we were going to get through like 451 for a little bit. So so I was like, this is some turbulence, but I bought next Friday. So I had plenty of time on mine, So even when I bought it at, I think 18 or something like that, like it dipped to like, 14 or something like that, but I wasn't worried, with my trade plan was telling me as long as we're not through 452, we're going to be fine.
Right.
And then we saw that dump at the end of the day. So guys, I do want to say one thing about Dylan. He does type in every morning. He does type in what he's looking at, so if you're not up early enough, and he made a good point with like running late in the morning, guys, if you're not up before the market's open, if you're not, haven't gotten your day started at least an hour, my dad always told me you need about an hour and a half early to everything. Meaning if you have work at 8, do you wake up at 7:30 and rush your ass to no. Okay. If there's a workout at 6 a.m. Are you waking up at 5:45 and rolling over to the workout? No. Right. You're waking up plenty of time in advance. To get yourself ready, to prepare yourself. If you're going to go work out, you need to fuel your body with something specific, something small, carbohydrate focused. Get some water in you. If you wake up before work, you're probably going to want to have enough time to get your goddamn coffee and breakfast in. Allow for the traffic, whatever it might be. If you're working from home, you want to make sure you're awake before you get on camera. Don't have bags under your eyes, etc. Same thing with the market, guys. You can't wake up, roll out of bed, and think, I'm going to log into the Wolves. They're just going to call a banger, and I'm just going to bing, bang, boom, become a millionaire. I mean, if it were that easy, we wouldn't be doing this. Okay? It's time to treat this like a profession, and that's what Dylan does, guys. He does it very well. And if he only has time to trade for an hour, could you imagine the level of discipline that he needs to have in order to execute in that 1 hour? So it sounds to me like he's up very early before the market even opens. Like he said, he's already working out. He gets one full workout in before the day even starts, before he even looks at levels. Okay. So I did want to make that very clear. We did have one more question for you, Dylan. I think Ned said, what's the significance of the 20-minute range?
Well, that's just what the opening range is.
Gotcha.
It's considered, right? You go one past the first 15-minute candle kind of thing. And that's usually what the opening range, like you can play an opening range breakout, which it'll retest this. And if had it gone that way, that's called an opening range breakout play. Or, down here, it almost did, but it didn't get past this deviation. So it wasn't an opening range breakout. And,
Gotcha.
So that's just, I don't have the exact answer for it, but that's what this measures, and it works. I wish I was better and knew that. I just know that this works.
Yep. Okay. I know all the questions are probably going to come, especially when the call ends and people start watching this later on tonight or tomorrow before the open. Would you mind copy and pasting the opening range standard deviation into the chat function? I know a lot of people will probably want to start like utilizing that, or just see how long that they like, or just see how it works out in the morning.
Right.
That'd be big. That'd be big if you could do that. I know they would love that and appreciate that.
Yeah, I absolutely will. I can do that. Just know if you don't know how to get there, after you put it in, you got to go to your studies, you got to go to add studies, and then down to your user defined. And then all of the ones that you've added yourself are in there. And
Bingo.
These don't pop up until 20 minutes in. So if you're looking for it before that fourth candle starts, ends, then you're gonna, you're toast. So and then it just,
you guys see that, right? You guys understood what he just said. It's not going to be there before in the pre-market. It's not going to be there when we open. He's on the 5-minute chart. There's 4 candles before those things are going to pop up on the 5-minute. You guys understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like it's stop. It'll stop for like, here's pre-market for tomorrow, and they're not there, and they're not going to. Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Hold on. We have a couple questions. How long should you wait when the market opens to be able to enter a play? Well, realistically, Yariel, I know you're new. We have a 30-minute rule for a lot of newer traders that need to just watch the action. You definitely want to wait 30 minutes because you see how volatile and fast-paced that beginning. You can get caught off sides. And you'll see starting this week, we're on live. You'll be able to tap in. We'll be saying it explicitly on live. We'll be typing it. A lot of us usually don't enter a trade until we realize that opening range that Dylan has this great script for. So you'll see. Ned says, can we post it in the Discord, please? Yes, sir. We will definitely post it in the Discord. We'll just have Dylan type it in. Appreciate you, Dylan. Being that the deviation is close to pre-market low, is that more confirmation for you? It would be confirmation for me. I'm sure for Dylan. Yeah, Dylan, you want to answer that?
The more trend lines or fibs or anything that are near to each other, it just adds to that confirmation on those as resistance or support lines. Just like when you're talking earlier about all the convergence of all those lines in that weekly chart, right? The more of those that line up there, it's not a coincidence that they line up there.
Definitely. No, for sure. Nothing's a coincidence. It all happens by design. For sure.
Yeah.
Kevin asked, how accurate is pre-market high and lows to forecasting the day market? I'll answer first and then Dylan. I mean, it's pretty spot on, man. You are going to definitely be in that range of the high and lows in the pre-market. In my opinion, if you go, all you need to do is just go back on like a 1 hour or 30-minute chart and just go back for all the previous days and you'll see. I mean, look at there, that pre-market high held. Right. And then when it busted through the pre-market low, that's a breakout to the lower side. You see? Bingo. Right. So you can use it both ways, support and resistance or breakout. Every support and resistance is also a breakout. You mentioned making Fridays work for you. Have you ever tried using credit spreads or mainly calls and puts? Personally, I'm naked, just calling puts out. I'm not doing the spread. Me personally, but Dylan, I don't know if you trade any spreads or you want to elaborate on that.
No, sorry.
Yeah, just it's all naked. I like the spreads or straddles or strangles, whatever you call them. When you're anticipating news and you understand the range really well of where the stock has been trading. That's just me. Kapil says this works for other tickers, not just liquid pre-market, not just SPY. Yeah, correct. He's completely correct. This definitely works for pre-market. For example, Tesla, I've noticed, I watch it every morning. The pre-market low number and the overnight session number, so like from the close the previous day, those after-hour close in the pre-market, you see great bounce levels. So if we're in a clear uptrend, you can legitimately go and put a limit order around where if let's say the stock gets up a tad. So let's say we're just in a bull trend market short term, and it closed at 900, and it's going to open at like 920. Let's say it's very normal for Tesla to do that. If you show the pre-market low being about 905, you can go put a limit order there, and it usually on the very first candle goes down and smacks that limit order and then jumps up. And it's a very quick trade. It's very risky, but it respects those levels because it's also filling a little bit of a gap down. Okay. Just something I wanted to give an example of because I think it was really important for those pre-market numbers. And it works on all the charts, not just SPY. SPY helps because it is very liquid, like what Kapil said. Okay. Well, Dylan, is there anything else you want to go over, dude? I mean, thank you first off for coming in and giving this example of the Wolves. We're very excited to have you do this because it has translated into huge wins for you. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but like Dylan and his wife are both teachers, and he talks to me a lot, offline, and he does tell me that they are heavily entertaining the fact of actually retiring, guys. That's how much he's able to make trading, okay, more than his current paycheck by being very disciplined. So first off, Dylan, like, congrats, bro. But is there anything else you want to share with us?
I just can't stress enough that like doing less means, mitigating your risk, and doing less means more than just only doing one trade, but like narrow your field of vision. Like even like that's the biggest takeaway for me from, December, January through now is I'm only trading this and this, I'm only trading SPY, SPX, and we are simple human beings, and multitasking, I feel, is a farce, right? Like if you, a lot of tickers trade the same way as SPY. So if you want to find, your apples that trade almost identical half the time to it and trade that, but it's narrow down your field of vision. Don't just jump to the next one you see on Twitter or online, like, oh, this one, oh, that one. It takes a long time to read a chart and know how it's going to react and be able to understand what this means and that means. And, oh, does it respect this line? And it's impossible for us right now because we are all new traders. I don't know about you guys. I feel like we have to do something for 5 or 10 years before you're experienced at it, right? Like there's not a possible way that a new trader can actively understand and follow 8 tickers. It's not possible. So doing less means trading with like more of a focused mindset. And if the trade's not there, just don't fucking take it.
Exactly, bro. Very well said. So you're telling me that what I've been screaming to you for the last 6 months actually holds a little bit of truth.
Yeah, bro.
That's accurate.
And just for a snapshot, dudes, like I've written 2 checks of 20 grand towards student loans this week alone. Like it's changing lives, and like we're working on building generational wealth for our kids, and that's all we're about. So
yep,
like
that's awesome, bro. That's so awesome. So happy.
Never give up.
Definitely. Hey guys, definitely. If that's not a true testament right there, guys, doing less and making more, especially as a new trader, it's so very important. And it's very important. He made a point to say this. You have to understand individual tickers and become master at those tickers, guys. He's trading 2 tickers and he's made more than a majority of traders combined. right? You're trading 2 tickers. Think about that. We've got guys going Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, this, that, the other. They're trying to all these shit. I'm like, guys, master 1 to 2 tickers and do less. Okay. Any trade is better than a blind trade. Okay. If you're still finding out that you're going to have to follow somebody else's trade in order to make money, listen, starting out, that is okay. But knowing this, and I always say, you have to trade with the mindset that at any day, imagine if you didn't have Twitter or you didn't have our Discord or any Discord for that matter. You didn't have anybody else to teach you or to follow their trades. What would your account look like if that actually were a circumstance? 90% of people are wiped the fuck out. Okay. Guys, we're giving you the tools to teach yourself. We're leading you to the water. We cannot make you buy or sell anything, but we can teach you what we do. And we can teach you the discipline that you need. So it's super, super important, guys, to continue learning, continue asking questions. Okay, that's why we go live every day. That's why we have the chats, and we're always in there asking questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Remember that always. All right. But other than that, Dylan, hey man, I just want to say personally, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much for being a part of our group. Thank you so much for giving a helping hand to anyone that's ever asked you a question and serving as an inspiration, not only to our group, but I know to myself, to Justin and the other admins, man. It's a pleasure to be alongside and trading with you. And congrats on all of the debt that you've been able to pay off, and even the conversations that we had for you to be able to even think about retiring at the age you're retiring at, and maybe doing this full time or working on your nonprofit foundation, dude. I mean, that's so awesome. Definitely look forward to maybe doing more of these in the future. I'm sure these guys loved it. Maybe fly you out for a Friday down to SoCal. And get you to trade live for the team. I'm sure that'd be awesome. They would love that as well. So we'll be in touch on that. Brian, shout out guys to Brian, gives all the levels on all these calls. But he also is going to become our full-time videographer, content creator, cinematographer, whatever you want to call it. So he will be a part of all those live trading calls. He will be recording them. Okay, he will be the one that's responsible for getting all that content out to you guys. So definitely give him a shout out when you can. Dylan, last words, bro. Anything?
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. You heard it from the man himself. Let's fucking go, guys. Hey, now that you got your level, or now that you had the call, get your levels right, guys. Okay. Don't stare at the screen all night. If you haven't gone to the gym yet, if you haven't exercised, if you haven't gone on a walk, if you haven't done something for your health, go ahead and do it. Get away from the screen. It could be hanging with your family. Working out or hanging with your kids is a workout. Okay. I know that. So do something else, but then be back bright and early. If you don't wake up early before the market, plan to wake up earlier. Set the alarm clock earlier, go to sleep earlier, get your cup of joe early, get it ready to go, have some good breakfast, and treat this like the true profession that it is. You will not make money unless you do so, okay? Other than that, guys, Dylan, again, I appreciate you, man, a lot. And that's going to be it, guys. We're going to go ahead and end it right here. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Dylan's going to post that the standard deviation open to low range in there for you guys. If you have any question, guys, feel free to type them in the chat when we get back in the Discord. Other than that, love you guys. See you in the pre-market. Peace.